What's up guys, Tamrakshan here. This is actually the third video about the all-new 2020 Honda Dio BS-6, and this one, as you might know from the title, is the mileage test video. Now before starting, let me give you a brief idea about how this video is going to be done. Well, like I said, we're going to test the mileage of the new Dio, and here I did try to do it like a real life scenario instead of just riding it at a constant speed on a good clear road. Well, I did start the test on the 26th of Feb after 6 PM, and it was done in two parts because after riding for some time that day, I resumed the testing the next day early morning, but I did try to create instances like stuck in traffic, slow moving traffic, then a clear open road situation where you can cruise at good speed, and also riding at economy speed too. And here the way I did calculate the mileage is by the full tank method. So for that, what we initially do is fill up the tank of the Dio, which is actually a 5.3 liter capacity, to full tank, and then before starting the ride, I did reset the trip meter to 0. Now filling up to full tank, well here since it's the first fill, you actually don't need to record the reading of how many liters of petrol was needed to fill up the tank, because this reading is not needed for mileage calculation. Now here after filling the tank to full, since the time has passed 6 PM, the light was getting dull, and therefore I just rode casually under the 60 km/h mark for 3.6 kilometers, and I stopped the ride for that day. And the very next day, I did resume the testing after 6:30 AM, and this time I wanted to try some realistic situation that I did mention before, and hence after starting the ride, for the first 15 minutes, I did ride in the best mileage speed range, which is in between the 40 to 55 km/h mark. And after that, I wanted to try a situation where you might be stuck in traffic for a minute or so, and therefore I did take a brief halt for 1 minute, and here I didn't turn the engine off but kept it running, so it's like halting in traffic. And then I did start the ride again and kept on riding again below the 60 km/h mark for approximately 10 more minutes. And then the next scenario I tried to create was stuck in slow moving traffic, and therefore I did try to ride at very slow speed, then stop, and then do that again and again. Well, I did this for approximately 5 minutes, and after that, it was time to hit some open road at 70 km/h. I did ride in that speed range for some time, and after that, I switched the riding style to a casual one, and after that, I did head over to the petrol pump. Now, during this ride period, couple of my observations, which I already did mention in the detailed review video, which I will link in the description section below, is that this new BS-6 engine is so much more refined, and also it feels like it has better performance than the old BS-4 engine. And also, the suspension, since it's now telescoping in the front, ride through rough patches and bumpy roads was much better. So now back to our testing, and here by the time I reached the petrol pump, the trip meter reading was 28 kilometers. And I did fill up the tank again, and this time the amount of petrol needed to fill up the tank was 0.48 liters. Now this time we need to note down how many liters of petrol was filled, because this reading is very important for our mileage calculation. So let's not waste any time, and as you already know, the trip meter reading is 28 kilometers, and the amount of petrol that was filled the second time is 0.48 liters. And to do the mileage calculation, it's very simple. You just divide the distance covered in the trip meter with the amount of petrol needed to fill up the tank the second time. And here the number we got is 58.33 km/liter. Well, that's a great number and also much higher than the mileage of the old Dio. For this mileage test, we did try to create almost a real life scenario, but one thing to note is that I didn't throttle hard, and hence that type of fuel wastage was avoided, and also majority of the time I didn't try to apply sudden brakes. This test is pretty straightforward, but please note the mileage you might get can vary because, like always, mileage totally depends on riding conditions and also very importantly the way you ride. But still, if you ride without stressing the engine much during day-to-day use, the mileage you'll be getting should probably be in this range. And by the way, the mileage shown here in this new digital speedometer is 57 km/liter, which is pretty close to the mileage we got, but for some reason, it is less than what we got. Now before ending this video, I would like to touch on one thing that I observed while conducting this test, and that is the best economy speed is in the 40 to 50 km/h mark. And also one common thing with these new BS-6 engines is that it's much more fuel efficient, because all the new BS-6 vehicles that I tested did get much improved mileage than their BS-4 versions, and that's all when the fuel used here is still the BS-4 fuel. And that actually makes me curious to see, will the new BS-6 fuel make any difference to these numbers? Well, to find out that, we have to wait, because a complete BS-6 transformation will happen only by the end of March. So if you guys don't want to miss such interesting future contents, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and also the bell icon. And before ending this video, a big thanks to Vahini Honda Kollam for providing me the test ride vehicle for the testing purpose. But please do note, this video is by no means a sponsored or a paid one, and also they were not given any preview of the video nor any copy approval rights. Everyone is seeing this video for the first time, and that's all after this video went live in YouTube. So that's all for this video guys, and if you liked it, it would be much appreciated if you could hit the like button. See you again in the next one. Till then, bye, and always ride safe.